Hi, Dr. Tom Hansen here at yipsbegone.com, answering the question, are the yips focal dystonia? If you Google yips, you'll come up on a Wikipedia thing that'll talk about focal dystonia and the Mayo Clinic. Um, Now, I don't, my really answer is, I don't know. I don't think so. I have talked to a guy who's done some research on it, and he says that it's like only about 4 or 5% of people who say, well, who self-identify as having the yips, have a like physiological um, problem, and that where it's like, oh yeah, you can look at it and physiologically there's something wrong. There's like a pathology. There's something wrong with this person, and that's why that is happening. In all other cases, he says it's just a performance anxiety, and that's about my experience. Because I can help people enormously, except for in a few cases. There's a few every once in a while I come across something that I'm not really able to help. Where I mean, I'm able to help enormously. I would say pretty much 100% of the time. If someone wants to be helped, I can help them enormously 100% of the time, but get it all the way back is a little bit tricky with all of them. But a massive majority, yes. But that's where I can see that there's focal dystonia, something sort of really physiological coming into play there. Now, it's like, well, what's physiological? um, because, well, what's an emotion? It's like it's chemistry. There's chemistry to everything, and then it transitions. It's like, well, everything is energy, and that line between, for example, mental and physical, where does that end? It's like, oh, it's a mental thing. Oh, it's a physical thing. Well, what is a mental thing? Well, there's peptides that run through your body that plug into cells, and that's what generates these feelings of emotion. Or also there's energy waves going through, so it's not the physical thing. It's it's a little bit tricky when you start to look and think, well, something's mental or something's physical. It's not so clear cut as our language would make it seem, which is which. And that's where the approach I use is a very holistic, whole body method that doesn't make artificial distinctions. Even like, well, is it for, I don't even do like a diagnosis. It's like, well, are you having trouble? Yes. Well, then my diagnosis is that you have a problem that you need to fix. I don't care what you call it. It can be the yips or not. It doesn't matter what you call it. A rose by any other name smells the same. I think it goes. But if you're having trouble with something that used to be easy and now it's hard, could it be a focal dystonia? Maybe so, but I've not found it useful at all to get caught up in that. I just like, well, focus on the problem and fix the problem. It's a very pragmatic approach. So if you're wondering about the whole focal dystonia thing, I would just put that to rest and focus on like, what are the symptoms, what's going on, trace it back to the root and clear that out, clear out the collateral damage, all the stuff that's happened since this started, and I'll bet you'll be in really good shape. So if you want to know more, check out yipsbegone.com and let me help you out if you'd like. Thank you.